Good morning, Parvati. I hope you've got everything tally.
Hi, Trupti. Good afternoon. With the lesson plans, there are some concerns. So, Raji is working on it.
I think Mayank's put up one for he's put one on the PMT and this thing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I need to hear the same energy on the other side. So, good afternoon. You can unmute yourself and tell good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Neha ma'am. It was lovely hearing you.
Ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
ma'am, Kritika ma'am, everyone. Good afternoon. Can I kindly have you all on video, please?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had an amazing first half of the day. So you're energetic and looking forward to today's session. Requesting everybody to kindly come on video. Okay, I'm going to announce maybe a small winner or a prize for those who are going to be on video throughout the session today. Let me see who is the one who's going to grab that. I just mentioned someone today will be announced to get one small token of appreciation and prize for staying on video throughout. So let's see who is that. Who wants that? I already see a couple of them on video. Thank you so much. Yes, requesting teachers from Amrita as well to kindly come on video, please. We will begin in next few seconds. So before that, quick. I hope you're not eating and attending right now. If you want to prove me wrong, please come on video. Okay, while everybody are joining and are coming on.
2 minutes. We will connect to the video.
Sorry, Kalpana ma'am, couldn't hear you clearly. What was it?
Ma'am, just 2 minutes. I'm in middle of something. We will switch on the video.
Sure, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, how's the Josh today? Use your reaction button again. I want to know, how are you feeling? Excited, hungry for those who didn't have food, or looking forward to it? What is it like? Please use the reaction button in your Zoom screen to let me know how you're feeling. Okay, I see excitement. Okay, nice. Taruni ma'am has rockets, so I'm wondering she's ready to take a jump and a fly in her classroom now. Perfect. Okay. Nice, amazing. So before we begin today, we will have a small recap again for what we did yesterday, right? Because it's important. No matter what age we are in, whatever we are learning, it's always good to have that recap so that we do not miss out as we step into something newer that is in store for us. So, are you all ready today for
Ma'am,
today's
good morning,
session?
ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Reena ma'am.
Ma'am, the voice is not so audible, ma'am. It is not so loud.
Oh, okay. Is it the same case for others? Okay, Reena ma'am, looks
No,
like
ma'am, it's
I'm
fine.
audible to everyone. Thank you so much, Aarti ma'am. Probably you would want to log out and log in again. Maybe that'll help you. Okay, so teachers, please note the next few hours are going to be very critical. So you have your water bottles next to you. Please kindly stay on video. Kindly participate actively throughout the session today because this will help you really understand everything that you have learned or you're going to learn in reality, right? So ensure everything is in place and you don't really have any sort of a distraction with you. Clear video, clear audio, settings, and everything. Having said that, now I would like to invite Rajashri, who did our amazing recap session yesterday through Mentimeter, to do a quick recap today for the same. Rajashri, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the set training. I invite you all to use the chat box and respond to whatever recap questions I'm bringing to you. Here's my first question to you. Try to recall from yesterday. We know you have it at your heart. What is the main purpose of Saksham value education? We invite you to write it in the chat box for us. What is the main purpose of Saksham value education? Teachers, are you able to access the chat box? Thank you, Rajni ma'am. All right. Character building. Thank you so much. We are aspiring for this through every single day of every single lesson of Saksham education. All right, here's my next question to you. What does ERRT stand for? This is the framework you all learned yesterday. What does ERRT stand for? See if you're able to remember. Thank you, Ankita ma'am. That's helpful. Okay, E stands for experience. Thank you so much, Aarti ma'am. Rajni ma'am, very good. Thank you so much. Reflection, realization. Okay, deep insight is another way of saying reflection. It will help you to remember ERRT framework and therefore remember the word reflection. All right, thank you very much, teachers. Here's my next question to you. What is the root of the Saksham program? What is the root of the Saksham program? What do we want at the base of every single lesson? I encourage you to recall what we learned yesterday from Mridula. All right. Okay. Kritika ma'am, thank you so much. Transformative action. Thank you for the complete response on that one. What is at the root of Saksham program? It will be the values. Values are at the base of everything that we do. Every single experience should stem from this root. Values are at the root of the Saksham program. Okay, where can the Saksham educators find the experience and reflection questions needed for the value lesson? You're all going to carry out this value lesson in the classroom. Where will you find the experience that you have to give your learners? Okay, you can support it with the toolkit. Where will you find the experience, the story that you're going to tell them, the picture cards that you're going to generate and show them? Where will you find the inputs for that? Do you have to research this on your own? Thank you, Kritika ma'am. It's already researched for you. It's available in our lesson plans. Thank you very much. Okay, here's my next question to you. The act of converting felt experience into learning. The act of converting felt experience into learning. Which part of the ERRT framework does this refer to? This is where we have just experienced, thought about it, and then we go and convert it into a learning. This happens within the classroom. You give your students an experience and then you help them think about it. That's reflection. After this, you give them a small opportunity in the classroom to practice it. It is one step before the call to action. Okay, thank you, Neha ma'am. This is the stage. This is usually activity 2 of your core learning. Core learning usually has activity 1, activity 2. Activity 2 will normally be the stage of realization. All right, I invite you to respond to this. What function does the Saksham journal play in the ERRT. You're going to carry out the ERRT in your classroom. You're going to do your best to give an experience, help them reflect, realize, and give an opportunity for transformation. What is the role of the journal in this? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ankita. Okay, it could help us do the transformative action because there is CTA in the journal pages. Could you do anything else? Okay, you could help them reflect, you could give them feedback, they could give feedback to themselves. Thank you. These are different ways of utilizing and optimizing. You could do the second three. You could do the reflection, realization, and transformation through the journal pages. Thank you. Very good responses. Thank you so much. All right. Here's my last question to you. What makes Saksham Value Education different from any other moral education program? What are you doing differently than any other preach or patronizing lesson in a classroom? You're doing something very different here. Through the Saksham program, you are teaching, you are enabling values, you are equipping your learners with values. Are they able to respond? Okay, you're giving them modern experiences. You are giving an experiential learning. All right, thank you very much for your participation, teachers. I'll hand it over back to Ankita now.
Thank you so much, Raji. I hope everyone had a quick brush up of whatever you learned yesterday. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Yes, I see those on videos definitely, but those off video, can you at least give me a reaction button so I can see that? Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, it's the time for us to explore something different, but something very critical, connected to our entire Saksham journey as you take part in for the entire year. So for the next segment, I would like to invite Mayank Solanki, our founder chairperson, to take you through that segment as well. Mayank, over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Feeling good? And I hope that your faces can tell me the same thing as well. I started yesterday with something. What did I start yesterday with?
Story.
Remember?
A story.
No one remembers what I started with.
Mayank, I think Taruni ma'am did mention story.
Story.
Oh, crap. Sorry. Okay, I didn't hear that. I was just increasing the volume of the part. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tarun. I started with the story yesterday, right? I'll start with a nice quote today, right? So this is something which is my personal favorite. Yes, exactly, the story of the Chand. It's one of my personal favorite quotes, which I really take it very close to life, and I've really found application. I'm sure some of you will relate to it as well. They say, हंसते हंसते सब समझाया जा सकता है और हंसते हंसते सब प्राप्त किया जा सकता है. So through laughing and laughter, right? You can achieve everything, and through laughing and laughter, you can teach everything. Just take 30 seconds to think, right? How has humor helped you as a teacher? Kritika ma'am, Aarti ma'am, whenever there's been a fun moment in class, right? Has it helped your class connect with you? Has it helped them be a little less stressful about what they're teaching and learning sometimes? Grace ma'am, if you've ever seen sometimes one fun moment, right, just lightens up the entire class's face. It happens even over here. right? Like, for example, I'll just take Aarti ma'am is my favorite because for some reason I see her like the center part of my whole part of it, right? If I were to say right now, of everyone's screen I'm seeing right now, I only see one strawberry, and that's my Aarti. Now, it just brought a small smile, maybe a little laughter. Aarti ma'am, I've just taken one small step. Please forgive me if I offended you, right? I was just trying to make a point of how a little bit of a humor here and there makes a big difference. And that's something that all educators should learn, is something which I have kind of learned in life, right? Little laughter here and there makes a big difference. Remember, there's a difference between fun and funny, right? Slight difference, right? There's a difference between a friend and friendly. I always tell this to my parents, my parenting workshops, right? Your job is not to be a friend to your child, be friendly to a child. Can you think of the difference between that? Right? I'll ask one of you. Who feels confident that you can answer this? What's the difference between friend and friendly? Anyone, go for it. The educators, not Ankita. What's the difference between friend and friendly? If no one answers, I have my favorite Deborah who's going to answer. Okay, I'm going to ask Kritika ma'am first.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So, I think friends is being basically you're being friends with that person irrespective of the respect part. The respect part is somewhere that you lag behind when you become friends with somebody. You can talk in a certain way. There is a certain way that person can talk to you. There is no boundary set as such. Being friendly is something that you do set a boundary as well of respect, but at the same time you're very firm in your tone. You are very clear, yet you have your boundaries set right.
Very
I
nice.
think that is one difference that I could think of.
Damn cool. I really liked your answer, right? Would
Thank you.
anyone like
Thank you.
to add to Kritika ma'am's answer? Very nice. There's a boundary element to it. There's a respect element to it. And that's what I'm taking on. Very nice. I think Taruni raised her hand. So, ma'am, please go on.
I think it's through the same lines, but I would also like to add that a friend is somebody where you have deep and meaningful connection. But friendly is like when you're meeting for the first time, or maybe friendly is you don't have much deeper connection, but you have with respect, with boundaries, is what I understand.
Okay, fair enough, right? Let me ask Aarti ma'am to add on top of your answer as well. Thank you so much, Taru ma'am. You also added to this
Yes.
in a nice way.
Friends, as in we share each other, or like I'll give a very short answer. And friendly is like rapport building, maybe with a limited boundary.
Very nice, right? I think the boundary part is very, very interesting, right? I think all of us agree with that part. I'll probably just add one part. With friendliness comes easy approachability. That's essentially being friendly, right? It's easy to approach them, it's easy to talk to them, whatever. That's a great thing to have, right? The reason why I tell this to parents or to teachers is that you please don't become of their friend, because friends are many, parent is one. अगर पेरेंट फ्रेंड बन गया तो पर फ्रेंड तो कभी पेरेंट नहीं बनेगा, राइट? पेरेंट तो एक ही है, माता पिता तो एक ही है. दे हैव टू बी व्हाट दे हैव टू बी, right? Their approach can be friendly. Their approach can be, don't worry, even though I know I'm the disciplinarian in this house, in this family, I'm the authoritative person in this family, but I can do it in a soft power manner. Firm is firm, rules are rules, but I have the choice of how I want to implement those rules, right? In a consequence based manner, or in a my way or the highway kind of manner. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Helps reduce the friction around it. So this is something which is interesting to learn, right? Great. Are all of you ready for a learning mode for the next 15 minutes? Right? Because I'm going to teach you something very, very application based inside of your classroom that you can bring in as a practice. And the most interesting part is you will find a very easy connection with ERRT, right? You'll find a parallel, but it's very specific to teaching skills. Okay. So as I go through it, you'll get an idea. Please ensure that you're at 100% and you make the notes wherever you have to as a part of it. If you're with me, give me a thumbs up. Then I know I can start my screen. Yeah? Okay, excellent. Jishna ma'am, I didn't see your thumbs up. Now I saw it. There we go. Excellent. Okay, my screen is on now. And this is what I'm going to talk about. Remember, I'm going to share about two philosophies, one for the foundational years and one for the prep years, right? So this ensures that you're able to understand both sides if you're a teacher of variety of age groups, right? So the HEART methodology is a very child-friendly, experience-based approach to building values and character in our children. Remember, with young children especially, right? It is best if values are taught through a experience, felt, and a lived manner rather than a knowledge and an awareness-based manner. That will come over a period of time. But first, what is experienced and felt and lived is more effective and helpful. Then they get the vocabulary for it. Are we on the same page, everyone? Do we agree? Yeah. So experience first, vocabulary later for younger kids especially. Now, I'll explain this HEART methodology to you, right, of what each aspect stands for. Very simply put across first, it means hearing, exploring, acting, reflecting, and taking. Okay, so these are the 5 steps of it. Let's get into what H means, right? Generally, in our lesson plans, you would have noticed that everything starts with an experience. An example of an experience is story. So what that essentially means is, right, introduce the value through a story, scenario, or a real life example, right? Stories generally work very well, even if it's fantasy or fiction based, till you're able to build a context for them, right? It could be through a picture book, a folk tale, it could be a real tale, it could be your story, right? So on and so forth. You could also use a video clip, a puppet show. So these are different ways around it, right? And most importantly, you start first with comprehensive and explicit questions, right? Okay, what exactly did I tell you in the story? Who were the main characters? What exactly happened? The reason why we do this is because stories make values relatable and memorable. They help connect the emotion to the value of the story that we're talking about. That's the first step. So always remember, start with experience or hear the story or share the story. The second part is exploring the feeling behind the story, asking questions like, how did the character feel? Why do you think they felt the way they did? Remember, these are questions of reflection, right? So you can see that movement over here. You can even use an emotion wheel because this also helps them put words to that feeling. Sometimes they don't know. They were feeling, everything will say they were feeling angry. But angry is a broad spectrum. Were they upset? Were they suffering? Were they anxious? Were they scared? Were they fearful? But the child who does not have this vocabulary might say angry or fearful everywhere. That's why your emotion wheel or feeling card or the words you mentioned, even on written on the board, helps them a big way. And the third one is inviting students to share a time that they felt it. Now they're relating the story back to their own personal lives, right? Remember, naming emotions will build not only self-awareness and empathy, but also will be the foundation for you to teach that value ahead. So that's the second step, irrespective of what topic you're teaching, right? Connect the feeling with the experience and building it from there. And the third one is acting it out. Why are you doing this? You're doing this because it helps build this concept to a bodily experience. With young children, it really works when you build a bodily experience. So give students scenarios, role plays, quick 2-minute states. Okay, you're the policeman, you're the doctor. Now, if this was a situation, how would you talk to each other? What would be your points? This really helps young children kind of build it up. Remember, they may or may not play the part fully. They might feel, a bit funny, bit incomplete. That's okay. That's why they are going and falling into that shoe and that step, right? So when they do this in a safe space, which is your classroom, without judgment, they are not only understanding what it is to be, but also what that person potentially feels tomorrow, right? That's why the last question often will be, what it feel like to be that character? This is a deeper reflection. This is almost on the lines of realization that, okay, this is what it feels to be in this kind of a position, right? So acting it out helps a lot in that part. The fourth one is reflection. Now, this reflection is not the first kind of base reflection. This is much more deeper on the realizative part, right? Now, what would you do in this situation is now moving ahead from and outside of this scenario, out of this specific story or the example that you give, right? This here also allows you to do think, pair, share conversations, right? brainstorming together. Even small young children can talk to each other. Agar aap hote kya karte? If I was here, what would I do? Right? You could even convert that into an activity. Okay, draw some scenario of where this could be done. Draw a moment of kindness. Fill in a strip that you've given where what would be the choices you make. So these are the kind of things that you do. Ensure that as a teacher you create a space where a person does not feel judged, or you feel that no, this is the wrong answer. Like an example, I got 3 answers from you all. I said, I like your answer. I want someone to build on this answer. And I specifically point which part of your answer I liked. So everyone feels encouraged about their thinking and their answers, because the more they think, the deeper it will go, right? So the question with young children is not to get the right answers, but just to get them to think and start building the conversation around it. So this step of reflecting together will move it towards understanding and realization, and even you'll get the chance of sharing some key learnings. The last part, taking it forward. So how do I now move this realization into action, which is our fourth step? So if you complete your sentences with, or your activity with, okay, this week we will practice this in this way, right? The small commitment for 1 week, right? Okay, I'm going to complete this commitment card, or there's a pledge that I've taken that I'm going to try to follow for 1 week, right? And when you come back, of course, the session in the top you would have seen begins with CTA debrief or recap, which is where you're essentially asking, what was your experience doing it? Sometimes, if they didn't do it, also is a space for you to talk. Okay, why did you not do it? What happened? You didn't have time, you forgot, you didn't think it's important, you left it to someone else. Even those are more opportunities for you to bring that to life. And that's also something where you're thinking something to them, right? So these are things for you to keep in mind when you're working with this part. And this methodology, if you keep it in your mind, maybe beside your table somewhere, will help you always ask a question: am I following a beautiful step-by-step process which works with children, right? Am I moving from hearing to exploring to acting to reflecting to taking it forward? If this is done, you will see a very positive impact where it's developmentally appropriate. There's a whole child learning approach, and it will start from knowing, but it'll definitely move towards doing. Okay, so this is a very nice model for you to think about when you think about young children of heart. I'll take a pause for a second over here. Let's get some initial thoughts from you all, right? How many of you feel, yes, this makes sense? Yes, this is something that I think will work on my children, in my children's class. If yes, give me a thumbs up. Do you think this heart approach is sensitive and accommodates the kind of age group and mentality that generally young children come with? Yeah, you made some notes, Kritika ma'am. You made some notes, Elizabeth ma'am, right? Of something that you want to do. Remember, I mentioned yesterday, there's a lot of things that you know, but the question is something that I'm committing that I will bring into my teaching practice. That's when changes will come in your part. So somewhere in your book and your notes, this has to be there. That Jishna ma'am has made this point that, okay, I like this, what he said. I'm going to try this in my classroom. I'm going to keep this flow in my mind. I'm going to try this part of it. Okay, everyone, right? Would you like to now know how to go about it when you're doing this with older children? Can I move to that part? Yeah, okay. Now you'll see a very clear distinct change. Suddenly you'll start looking advanced. But this works right from 8 years and above. I could do this with you also. And you will see that there's a very great relevance around it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a very interesting framework called voice. Okay, so here's voice coming up to you. This is what it looks like. Okay, everyone. This is a framework that helps adolescents, as mentioned over here, but even works with other adults, in my opinion, right? Where it basically works on thinking, questioning, and then eventually acting. Remember, the end of everything has to be action. Action is what moves mountains, right? They say that ideas can move mountains. If you've heard of that thought, I disagree. Ideas don't move mountains. Bulldozers move mountains. Ideas tell you where to put those bulldozers, how many bulldozers to put, when to operate it, how to operate it. All of that is an action-oriented thing. Or else it's just about sitting and dreaming, right? Okay, so let's find this out, right? What does voice stand for, right? Voice has these 5 steps again, and we'll go one by one into this entire part. The first one is bringing values to context. If you remember when I mentioned experience, one of the first thing I said is why experience works is because it builds context for learning. With children 8 and above, you can present a current and a relevant story. I'll tell you why these two words are very important and why it's different from just any regular story, right? When you bring relevance in the sense that you would have noticed in your classroom, children, that we introduced a new rule in our school of, say, for example, everyone is supposed to wear a tie and cup. Example, just a dummy example, right? Uh, and we're going to discuss that today. Now, all of them have a context. They feel that yes, someone might say I liked it, someone say I didn't like it, someone say I felt forced, someone I said I wanted it but I didn't get what I wanted. Some people are getting away with it, some people are not getting. So there's so many versions for them, right? For example, you might say, all of you have heard that there's this big war happening. Modi ji has told us don't buy gold, don't go out of the country. Today we're going to talk about something around it. So it gives them that context to build there. That's why real life dilemmas, case studies, current situations, current affairs, these are great things which help, right? Using that ethical dilemma is basically where it becomes the foundation for you to build the next set of the learning, right? Remember, your objective is to build the foundation for a lot of diverse opinions to come. Agar diversity hoga, then there will be interesting learning. If everyone agrees on the same thing, they'll be like, so what's new in this? So there have to be enough diversity for it. And that's why you're putting in a very nice spicy element to it. The second step is open dialogue. Now, this is where you're starting it off, right? Remember, to trigger emotions, you have to have a trigger. And your trigger is a question. As a teacher, the greatest tool you have is a question, right? So facilitate a structured discussion where students can voice differing views and practice active listening. Remember both things. You don't just want them to talk, you also want them to listen to different things. And that's when it happens. If, as a teacher, what you're trying to do is, right, it says a very beautiful thing over here. Respectful disagreement is a skill. Disagreement is nature. Respectful disagreement is nurture, right? So if you set the ground rules, this is how we will speak. This is not what we will speak. Now let's have fun. So that 2 minutes in the beginning makes a big difference. You would have noticed how in the beginning of this today's class or even yesterday I mentioned, okay, guys, this is my role. This is your role. You have to think. You have to write, you have to ask, you have to share, and that's how we will learn. So you realize that you have to do 2 minutes of your work, and then the rest I will help you out with. So it kind of builds, a partnership in it. So if you're able to achieve through your dialogue building the confidence to hold a position in our children, that no, this is what I believe in. And this is why I believe in it. This is how, I have come to this part of it. You're helping them stand for something. At the same time, if you're able to bring in humility in some students who says that, okay, ma'am, after listening to this, I think I want to switch aside. It's a great evidence that you've made a difference, that they got new information, they processed it, and now they're saying that, okay, fine. Now I think I feel I agree on the other side of it. It's a great achievement as a teacher. It's completely okay if a person dilly-dallies from here to there, because that's how life is, right? The third one is inquiry and insight, right? Now we're going deeper into it. Through your questions again, right? You're now moving from just that example to a holistical principle on which your life is built on, right? What principles are you relying on? What would you apply it everywhere? Socratic questioning essentially means asking series of questions which helps you get to a realization versus a teacher telling you the realization. You see the difference? Yesterday I told you, try to get answers out of them, realization out of them. Our children really have amazing insights. It's that no one has asked the right way of bringing it out. And they will achieve and own up to that learning much more than if you just told, guys, life is all about this. They will forget it tomorrow because they've not felt it, right? So the right term over here is moral reasoning versus moral compliance. How do you build moral reasoning in your children when you're working with this age group? Right? Remember, when you have your journals, you'll find a lot of these spaces, the open spaces you saw yesterday, for them to write answers to what you're asking. The deeper the question, the deeper the reflection, and those things will be filled with amazing things on that part. Right? And the last two is choice and consequence. consequence, right? Remember, it's very easy to say, I will do this or I will not do this. Would you steal? I will never steal. But you have to go beyond that to really show them that, what really, really happens. It's difficult to do it in an imaginary situation, but still, right? When you go to the step of consequence mapping, right? You run structured scenarios. If you do X, Y will happen. If you do Y, Z will happen. Then what about A? So that's basically how you're bringing a perspective where they're really thinking about all this thing and they're to defend by all angles. This is when they think through consequences, right? Their understanding of the value also will shift from abstract to, more importantly, practical. Have you noticed one thing a lot of children tell today, ma'am, what you're saying is nice to listen, but it is not practical. रियलिटी में आप अगर सीधे होगे तो लोग काट लेंगे आपको. You have to be bent, only then you can make money in life. Forget children. I think even a lot of adults believe in this. Maybe even you believe in it, right? It's then very, very difficult to say, be integrity, be good, be honest, because you always believe that that's the only way out. Now, this is a real challenge in a value education classroom or a CAT education classroom. It is not an easy job, but this is basically how. Now, you can't tell straight up, no, you have to be a good person. No one's going to believe you. Why should they believe you? It's only through conversation that will happen. Remember, educators, one burden you should put off of your shoulder. You're not trying to change the child in one class. You're not trying to probably even change the child in any manner in one direction. You're not trying to brainwash them either. You're going on a journey of self-reflection where they understand what are choices and things that I am okay to be. And that's how they'll move ahead from there. And the last part is expression and engagement, right? Children love to finally express. They want to kind of put it out in practice. They want to stick it. This is what I stand for. Give them opportunities. What does those opportunities mean? Projects. Your CTAs are this form of it, right? Journaling, peer mentoring, talking to someone else, doing something together. Okay, tomorrow I want you to come and present this. I want you to show this. I want you to solve this. They will love when they can actually do something and show to the world that they're more than just words. This age group has that ego that, I want to show it. I want to prove it. I want to get those likes. I want to get those videos. Have you noticed that, right? These are all different forms of the same base need of wanting to be heard, want to be proven. That's why they say young people have a lot of fire in them because they want to prove that they're not just, a run of the mill. Right? So this is something that you can kind of use in the positive direction, and you'll really see your classes move differently from just discussion and topics to practice and evidence. And this is basically a very beautiful model that you can see for older age groups. I hope you're able to see the differences, but the power in both of them, right? I'll take a pause over here because I want you to have a chance to ask me something on this as well, or share some of your comments. It's not just asking, but give me some of your content, your concepts as well, right? What do you think, educators? For those who have some experience of teaching this age group, right? Is this something you feel will work in your classes? Is this something that you believe, Shweta ma'am, that yes, these children tend to be like this? They tend to want to, question, challenge, debate, present.
Definitely, sir. I have seen this multiple times. If you challenge them, then definitely they get motivated and they want to prove themselves. So instead of guiding, ordering them to do something, I feel it really works, especially with the higher graders.
Absolutely, right? So something which also very works is appreciation and
Definitely.
privilege. Appreciation. Give appreciation to students who go in the right direction. Give privilege to them, right? This gives motivation to the bigger class to say that, how, doing the right thing actually gets you something, good. Because as I told you yesterday, right? अच्छे कर्म का लाभ भी होना चाहिए. अच्छे कर्म का फायदा भी होना चाहिए. Right? There has to be an upside to things. And that's how all of us are, at the end of the day, we have the mentality, the rat mentality of wanting to run to getting a thing, a carrot. We also have the same thing. We all are running on a mill to get something. So utilize that in a positive way so that we can uplift our children around, right? Anyone else has a thought, or else then we'll move to the next one. I have a very nice, brilliant listening class. But I prefer a class who asks, who discusses. Okay, we have the rest of the day to ask these questions as well, and of course the rest of the year as well, right? But anyways, let me ask this question. Are you all with me? Are you all learning? Are you all noting? Yeah? Because now we're going to really put that to the test, right? Parvati, please correct me. The next part of this training today is about them actually now going through lesson plans and preparing for a demo. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we're going
Yeah?
to have a demo session, right?
Okay, beautiful, right? Now, guys, you can listen all you want, you can note all you want. At the end of the day, when you go to the classroom, only thing what matters is what you're going to deliver, right? So now we're in a safe space, right? We can practice, we can think, we can actually see how much we learned and how much we did, or how much we thought we learned, but we're not able to do it. Many times it's there, it's here, but it's not coming out. Have you noticed? Sometimes this happens that I know it here, but I'm not able to explain to someone else, right? But that's the highest level of part. So Rajni ma'am, Kamila ma'am, Purnima ma'am, get ready. All of you now are going to be clubbed into different breakout rooms. You've been part of a breakout room before, Shweta ma'am? Right? So as per I'm assuming Parvati, you already have divided people into certain groups.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll be giving them the instruction.
Okay, great. So you'll be getting the instruction now. You're going to go in a different group. I'll just give 2-minute instruction because then it's not like
Sure.
haywire for them, right? So you're going to be clubbed as per the age group that you teach. So if you're a foundational level teacher, you'll be taught foundational in a foundational group. If you're a secondary or a prep teacher, you'll be put over there. Some of you who are like a wide range of educator schools, you'll be put in any one of them. Okay. Once you go into the group, every group will have one valid representative inside the classroom group as well. Okay, this is just for assistance. We're not there to interfere in. Then you will get a lesson plan of 30-35 minutes. Okay, those 30-35 minutes will be delivered by the three of you in three parts. So one person will do the first 10 minutes, second will do the second 10 minutes, and the third will do the third 10 minutes. Okay, clear so far, right? Remember, the objective is this is one teacher, three faces. It's like a three-headed teacher. Every head speaks for one part of it. But all three of you are connecting, collectively trying to achieve one great part of it now. Okay. Parvati has mentioned a very nice thing to me. Thank you so much for that part, right? I'll mention this, Parvati, to them as well, right? Okay. So once that part happens, right? Before that part happens, you will have time to prepare. So all of you have the lesson plans, you go through it, you understand your part, their part, how you want to do your part, remembering the ERRT, how do we create that whole part of it. Remember, it's a practice. Every day, every time you keep doing this in your classroom, you keep getting better at it. But let's just get the flow right now. Let's just get the basics right first right now. If we do that, we've been successful in it. Okay? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? No? Right? You'll roughly have about 40-45 minutes for this. So you have good, 10-15 minutes to prepare, then you have 10 minutes to deliver as a part of it. And towards the last part, we'll also share a grow and a glow. You know what a grow and a glow is? A glow is something that you did very well. You were glowing. You did this so well. So we'll give peer feedback to each other. Okay, Artima? That you did this very well. I thought this. And a grow is something you could have done better. Remember? Okay, this is one thought which I also learned from one of my mentors, right? Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Champion बनना है तो feedback लेना पड़ेगा. You have to take in the right spirit. So is everyone okay to receive a feedback, everyone? Right? And we will give feedback also in a dignified manner. Okay, everyone? So one good thing and one thing that we could have been better at. That's what has to be shared. Okay, and then we come back to the main room. Now, before all of this, would we like to see one lesson plan actually in action, like a 10-minute version in action by one of our educators to kind of see what it feels like? Yeah. So now we're going to have a wonderful demo happening over here, right? Parvati, do I hand it over to someone or directly to Raj?
Raji will take over.
You will take over? Okay, let me give
Raji.
a quick introduction, right? Rajshri has been a teacher at a wonderful school. She's taught variety of age groups. She's very passionate as a person, right? Recently joined our organization and she's prepared for this in a short period of time. But she's presenting something to you, right? Keeping in mind the ERRT part, right? So that's the bigger focus of how, just see the smoothness of the flow, right? The content, of course, is difficult because what we're doing right now, has two challenges. One, it's online. All of you will be delivering offline. None of you are going to be doing online classes to your students, right? It's all a physical experience. So with online, there is a difference that comes. And the second part is you will be delivering it to students. Right now, everyone is adults over here, right? So there, it might seem odd here and there, whatnot, but don't worry about that. You're looking at this, Kritika ma'am, from the teacher's perspective. Ki, how did she bring a concept from A to B, B to C, C to D? How much time she spent? Right? What is the feel of the whole part of it? You're making teacher notes, not student notes. ये क्या बोल रही है? ये क्या समझा रही है? नहीं, the content is not what to be focused on right now. Is that fair, everyone? Right? Okay. So please join me giving a round of applause for Rajeshri. Rajeshri, over to you.
Thank you, Mayank. Thank you so much for your encouraging words. I'll hope to do this really well. All right, afternoon, teachers. This is going to be a small effort at demonstrating to you how we hope that you will implement the Saksham lesson in your classroom. Now, let's start at the very beginning. I need to know if you're all able to see the shared screen.
Yes, yes, we are able to.
Sure.
Yes,
Thank you
Raj,
so
we are
much.
able to see.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So, like I said, we want you to anchor yourselves to the lesson plan that we give you. Everything that you need to know, everything you need to do has been researched and documented, and it is all present in your lesson plan. So anchor yourselves to the lesson plan. Where do you start? Where is the root of your lesson? What are you going to do? Always begin by looking at the value. In this case, we are using one about responsible decision making. And what is it that is going to be done in a particular session? In this case, we are talking about something called pause, think, and choose. This is a sample lesson for how you can practice this lesson. Nonetheless, pay attention and remember, in the lesson plan that you will receive to work later with, and then what you will use at school, will always have this. We want you to anchor yourselves to this. And then pay attention to the lesson objectives. Now, that is where you will find what is going to happen during the particular session that you're working on. This example here is, okay, we are going to understand thinking before making choices. We're going to learn a small technique about decision making. We're going to give a small opportunity to the learners to practice thinking about the consequences and apply mindful decision making. Now, these are the ERRT in their shortest form in the lesson objectives. Now, if you map each of these things, you will find them in different places in the lesson plan. I'd encourage you to look at that as you go through. I'm going to stop sharing screen and I'm going to try and demonstrate. Surely it's not about the theatrics, because I'm sure a lot of you will be able to narrate a story much better than I could. It's not about the theatrics, but I'm going to try and demonstrate what this class might look like, right? So I encourage you to look at my demonstration and try to identify where is the introduction, where you saw me show you the experience, where you saw me show you the reflection, realization, and call to action, right? In our lesson plans, you'll find CTA debrief and introduction at the top together. This is where you will have a cognitive activation of your class, and from there you pick up, right? I am going to start as if I was presenting to a class. This is for a class 5, and I'm going to make it seem like I'm talking to a bunch of 5th graders. You're going to try and receive it like that. And more importantly, like Mayank pointed out to you earlier, I want you to look for where the introduction came, where the ERRT came, right? With that said, I'm going to try and enact a class for you. So, hello class. Today, we're going to learn something new and something nice. Now, this class is going to be about quick choices that we have to stop, think, and choose from. Now, think about it for a second. Can you recall a time when you quickly chose something and felt good or felt bad almost instantly? Can you think of such a time when you had to quickly make a choice and then you felt good immediately or felt bad immediately? Taruni ma'am, would you like to tell me of any such instance when you had to think something quickly, something?
Where I felt good and bad. So when somebody gave me a nice chocolate or shared a chocolate with me that I like, instantly I feel good. And when I want to, like, let's say, for example, when I want to borrow a pen or pencil, they have it in their pouch, but they don't want to give it to me because they're not my friends. But I feel bad about it. Yeah,
Right?
good and
And
bad.
at this time, you may have to choose whether to ask nicely or take it without letting them know. You have to make those choices. And we all know at some time it's nice to ask nicely, and sometimes it may be difficult, right? So if we made a nice choice, okay, all of us are happy. But if we didn't make a nice choice and it made us feel bad instantly, now that is when we have to think about what we'll do, right? This is the place where we have to think, how am I going to make choices, those quick decisions, quick choices that I have to make every day? How am I going to do it in such a way that it will be thought of, I have thought and then done it, right? To understand this, during today's class, I'm going to help you learn one small trick. I'm going to help you learn one small 3-step rule, which you will be able to remember like a chant. And then whenever you're in a situation where you feel like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this quick decision? Whenever you're in such a situation, you'll be able to quickly apply this rule, right? We'll get to there as soon as we've heard a little story. Do you want to hear a story? I don't think so. Right? This is a story of our good friend Arjun. He's in a class very similar to ours. He's in class 5. On one bright morning, Arjun's teacher announced that today we're going to have a mental math quiz. Now, as soon as she said, okay, tell me the answer to this, and she gave the first question, Arjun quickly raised his hand and blurted out, 27. He was very proud of himself, except the answer was wrong. And suddenly everybody in the class got quiet. Arjun was surprised. He turned around to look at what was happening, and then he looked at his teacher. His teacher said, all right, Arjun, sit down, think about it, and try another question. And then Arjun sat down. Another question was asked. In a few seconds, Arjun missed one or two questions. And then another question was asked, and this time Arjun was listening carefully. And then he raised his hand. And teacher asked him, okay, Arjun, do you want to answer now? And this time, Arjun had his answer correct. Does anyone want to tell me what Arjun did differently this time? Neha ma'am, would you like to tell me
Listen
what
to the
Arjun?
question first.
He concentrated on the question. He paused and he gave a thinking. I mean, he gave a thought about the question.
Arjun paused. Thank you very much, Neha ma'am. Arjun paused, thought about it, and then he spoke. All right, that brings us to an important point here, right? I want you to take a moment, think about this. What was more useful for Arjun? What was more useful for Arjun? Trying to answer fast, or would it have been useful more for him to think first? I'd like to invite Jeshna ma'am to tell us what was more useful for Arjun. Okay. Kalpana ma'am, would you like to tell us which one was more useful for Arjun?
Uh,
Trying
he
to
has to take
answer
the pause and think, then only it is useful for him. Because without thinking, if he's going to give the answer, it might be wrong. So that's why if he is going to pause and think, then obviously it will be a correct answer.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Kalpana ma'am. Right. Now, always in a classroom, okay, whenever we reflect on our actions, we learn how to make better choices. If we think, now Arjun did this magic in the classroom. First, he made a mistake by not listening, thinking, and then he changed his approach. He stopped, he thought, and then he acted. Now, we were talking earlier about what happens. We may instantly feel happy or we may instantly feel bad. If it was a happy thing, good for us. If it was not a happy thing, we want to find a way to do it right. We want to be able to make quick choices with the help of a small trick. Did I tell you a trick? Did I tell you earlier that I'll teach you a trick? Do you want to learn it now? Right. Thank you so much. Right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn the 3-step rule. Okay. It's called the 3-step rule. It involves 3 words, 3 keywords: stop, think, choose. Will you say that with me? One or two of you. I'm inviting.
Can you repeat again, ma'am?
Stop, think, and choose.
Thank you so much. Okay, this could be one way to do it. This is class 5. So stop, think, and choose. What are we doing here? We're doing 3 things. 1, stop. We will not rush like Arjun did at the start. Second, we will think. We will stop and think for a second. What could happen? What do I want from this? And then we make the choice. Right? This could be our way of practicing. Now I'm going to give you an opportunity to practice this at home today, tomorrow, anytime, before we come back to the next class for Saksham. If there is any situation where you have to create a quick opportunity, quick decision you have to make, tell yourself, a friend is taking something from you, you can either shout at them or you can tell them, what are you going to do? When you have to make a quick decision, you use this: stop, think, and choose. When you use this rule, you tell yourself, okay, this is the way to use it. When we come back to the class next time, I'm going to want to hear from you. You can write it down somewhere and we will talk about it in the next class. Right. This is where I am concluding this presentation. This is a small snippet of how we would do it. In your lesson plan today, the ones that you will be using in the breakout rooms, you will have a deeper way of doing this. You will have explanation for this. I encourage you to read that and try and implement it similar, not the same, in the way such that you have had ERRT underlying at all times, whatever you are speaking. Right? I'll stop at that and hand it over to Parvati. Thank you so much, teachers.
Thank you so much, Raji. Thank you for taking us the flow of ERRT in a wonderful manner and helping the educators understand. Mridula, can I take your help to help navigate teachers into the breakout room?
Okay, so educators, you will be assigned to individually to each of your breakout rooms, which will be stage wise. Depend because we have information on what stages you teach in your schools. We'll be assigning you to such stages as well over here. Please do not touch anything on your laptop screen that is going to be popping up. Only the option when we assign you to a particular room, you will get the option to join in. Please click on join and get assigned to the particular room. Each one of you will get time to plan out. 10 minutes we are providing to the group. It will have around 3 to 4 people in each breakout room. Please plan with your team members who will be taking the introduction part, who will be taking the main core learning, and who will be taking the conclusion and CTA aspect of it. Take 10 minutes to plan the entire session plan and how the flow is going to look like. And then 8 minutes will be provided to each one of you stay in the breakout room. Don't leave the breakout room. You have one moderator from Val-Ed Initiatives who will be in the breakout room. Please take 8 minutes per person to go through the aspects of introduction, core learning, and conclusion plus CTA. 8 minutes per person.
So for 30 minutes, we will all be in our individual breakout rooms. That is the amount of time that it will take for you also to go through the entire session in your classroom. Please make sure that you discuss well amongst one another how the flow is going to be. Because from intro to go to the core learning, from core learning to go to a conclusion, it will require some kind of flow. So have discussions amongst yourself. Please don't say silent. It will make the entire process very difficult. So please engage and make sure that you are giving the best in this. The moderator from the Val-Ed team will have an observation form with them, and we will be observing the entire session. We will not participate, we'll just observe how the session goes. And after the session is done, we will be providing the entire feedback to you, your glows and glows, on email. Okay, great. Okay, Andrew, start assigning, please. Thank you so much.
Parvati, we actually had two more people who were pretty much left for doing it. So,
Okay.
any suggestion for that?
Uh, because we
Suchita
need
ma'am,
to have the
please.
platform discussion, so probably
Can't hear you clearly. Sorry. Hello.
we will just have the discussion, Ankita. So probably we'll just give them a 5 minutes break right now,
Okay. Okay.
and let's get back to.
Okay. So, teachers Suchita ma'am and Neha ma'am, we will revert back to you on your segment, right? Don't worry about it.
Sure, sure.
Ma'am, in the place of break, can we do it? Like
No,
5
even
If
I was
you want to
suggesting the
stay back,
same.
I'm more than happy. I'm right here.
Yeah, yeah. Even I
No,
was suggesting the same. Instead of break, we will finish it off. By the time everyone comes, we can join them as well.
That's
oh,
so
that's
sweet of
really
both.
so great, wonderful teacher. See, this is the spirit of a teacher. Just not wanting to. I mean,
No,
just
we
not
missed
wanting to
out
start.
actually a lot all
Exactly.
over.
Okay.
Especially
So
I
right
missed
now,
out
I
a lot.
think it's 4:30, 4:37. So what, Ankita, we shall meet by 4:47.
Perfect.
4:45.
I think should be okay.
Okay.
447. I'm only adding those two teachers to one of the group. Please join that one.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks.
So let's be at 4:47 sharp, teachers. Thank you.
Are we back, everyone? Of course, I'm back now because my teachers were pretty involved in sharing their bit of, insights of how will I be a teacher, the excitement of how to take this particular, learnings to the classrooms. How were your experiences, teachers, in the other room? Because I think my room had the majority of the teachers, so at least I had a great time. How about other rooms? Moderators are already here who were part of it. Teachers from other rooms? अरे थोड़ा तो एनर्जी दिखा दीजिए, मेरा मोटिवेशन आपके ऊपर है. You're my source of motivation.
Teachers, please switch on the videos. Let us see a beautiful place. Another 40 minutes of the session to go.
I think in my room we had only two teachers
Okay.
and
Okay.
one moderator. It was fun. I mean, I did not expect that um, it would go well, and we by the end of the day we shared the feedback. We both shared, even the moderator shared it. So I think it was a collaborative effort to have a good communication.
Nice, nice. And I think I will request my program team if there is any possibility, because there's a group that we have connected, right? If you think it's a possibility, I would request post today's session, please record your segment, right? Find for the person who were part of your group, or your moderator, and send it to them. At least I'm going to speak to the teacher who were part of my room, so that in case we've missed out on really giving some inputs or appreciate for the kind of work they've done, please feel free to reach out because we are here to help you out, right, and give that support. So if program team that works, please do let them know if they can know whose number is what, and they can share their videos with each other. Would that be okay, team? Teachers? Okay, I see a thumbs up. Perfect. So now moving ahead from the actual experience, there's something two critical aspects that we really need to get into. Now, team, the teachers who are seated here must be wondering, Ankita has been telling since yesterday, this is critical, that is critical, everything is critical, right? But once you've understood, like at least an overview, and you get an hands-on experience with it, your journey is going to be smooth. So do not worry. And throughout the journey, remember that Val-Ed team is with you. So to take you to another next segment, a little away from the classroom session, okay? Saksham stands different because it's just do not provide curriculum for the classroom engagement, but it also does a lot of outside classroom engagements. And what do they look like? And to take you through that, I will be welcoming our program manager, whom you would have already spoken here and there, a bit in bits and pieces. So it's Miss Parvati, our program manager, who comes with over 16 years of experience in educational leadership, teacher development, and academic excellence. Someone who is passionate about empowering educators and strengthening their learning ecosystems. She has contributed across schools, programs, and welfare initiatives with remarkable dedication. So, are you excited to meet her? She's already on Spotlight. So, can I hear up once for Miss Parvati? Can I? Team, I can't hear you, so at least can I see you? Thank you. That makes my day. Parvati, over to you.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you for such a warm welcome. It is so inspiring to be among the wonderful educators. So far, we've been exploring how Saksham program can be meaningfully facilitated inside the classroom. So moving ahead, and let's look beyond the classroom, how the program can be made more beneficial to the students. So educators, what are the ways or ideas through which we can further support? So can you quickly type in the chat box, what are your ideas and inputs where we can further support the Saksham program to make it more beneficial apart from the classroom? Yes, workshops, yes. Workshop, school assembly, outdoor activities. Yes, right on to the point. Field trips. Okay, role plays. Good. Yes, so we got right onto the point that the Saksham program can be made more beneficial with the help of assemblies, events, rituals. Saksham comes alive through assemblies and everyday rituals within the school environment because true transformation happens when a session is also experienced and practiced consistently in everyday school life. The Saksham program, as we had discussed, teachers, it's not only focused on conducting the classes or activities, children should experience, reflect, realize, and practice them through every part of school life. Like what Mr. Mayank had stated yesterday, if we want learning to be truly transformative for students, then the entire school ecosystem needs to work together every day. In this process, assemblies, rituals, events play an important role in strengthening the values introduced during the Saksham sessions. So let's say educators, a child may learn empathy in a classroom. But how to make it more meaningful is when they experience it during an event, reflect it in an assembly, or through everyday rituals in a school. It is basically a culture building process. And for this transformation to happen meaningfully, we really appreciate and encourage all stakeholders, school leaders, school educators, teachers, coordinators, support staff, students, and even parents need to come together with the same intent. So, concentrating on the assembly, let's take a Saksham assembly topic. Every living being matters. So, such assemblies not only help build sensitivity among the students, they foster a group of learning experience, which enables values to be imbibed progressively through collective learning. Am I right, teachers? Is there any educator who would like to differ on this point? Can I have a thumbs up if we all of us are on the same page? Yes, thank you. So, moving on to events. Events are conducted to bring values through real life participation, bridging students and teachers and students and parents. So basically, we conduct two events where we have events for students and teachers and students and parents. So, for example, we had conducted an event in a school. The event name of the event was Together We Shine. So it was such a beautiful event. This event bridged the gap between the students and teachers. So here, this event Together We Shine, the students and teachers had opportunities to openly express gratitude, appreciation, emotion towards one another. So we miss out all this in our regular day-to-day mundane jobs. So many of these feelings are often forgotten or remain unspoken. So we would, even a student would like to think, oh, how I wish I could have communicated this to my teacher. Even the teacher would think, okay, probably I can speak more emotionally to the students. So these emotions are most of the time remain unspoken. But with this help of Saksham event, students and teachers were able to share the love, emotional and connection in a very genuine and a heartful manner. Another impactful event I would like to say is about where the students were blindfolded. It is called blindfolded conversation. It's again a parent student event. So the students were blindfolded and paired with another ward, not with their same parent, not with their parent rather, another ward. So what happened? So they were engaged in a meaningful conversation with a facilitator, igniting them with emotional questions. This kind of situation, this scenario created a very powerful emotional connection, allowing participants to listen more deeply because both of them were blindfolded and speak more openly. Because more often with a stranger, you try to open up more. So, this was the open up we had during this blindfolded conversation. Later, after the event, educators, please believe me, many parents reflected on their interactions with their own children when they gain new perspectives on their relationship with parents. And this experience again, it made them become stronger and a better way of communication in their own family. So I would like to strongly emphasize that this is the essence of Saksham event. Moving on to rituals. Rituals bring the entire school together through consistent daily practice. This does not involve only the students who are in the Saksham grades. For example, there are few schools who have taken a Saksham program only to restrict it to few grades. So, but this rituals, it happens to the entire school staff as part of the culture building process. So, through these daily practices, so what are these daily practices? For example, we would have a box breathing, meditation, a lunch prayer, morning energizers. So these are the rituals where the Saksham program gets embedded more deeply in school life. It strengthens and focuses continuity and overall vision of the school. Dear educators, I would like to emphasize here, along with the Saksham classes, value-based assemblies, events, and rituals also plays a very significant role in character development. I would like to encourage you to give them the same level of energy, intent, and focus as you would focus on Saksham class. as each of these touch points, it may not be a great touch point, but a small step, it contributes to shaping student values and behavior. So I hope you've had a fair idea of how assemblies, events, and rituals are conducted in schools. So these topics of assemblies, events, and rituals are selected by schools. So it's not a common topics where we can have it across all schools. These are selected by the schools. Any doubts here, teachers, regarding assemblies, events, and rituals? Do you all have any doubts?
So, ma'am, in prior, the principal ma'am or any staff member will be helping us with the topics
Yes.
to
So
conduct.
the school
Okay.
will decide. Yes, ma'am. The school will decide which is the topic which our school needs to decide based on their focus area and vision. The school decides which is the assembly we want, which are the rituals we would like to have it in the school. So accordingly, we will train the teacher.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other doubts, teachers? Okay. So I think we can move ahead. If we can move ahead, please, can I have a thumbs up? Yes. Thank you, teachers. Thank you so much for all your attention. So as Ankita said, we are again moving to another important part of the program, that is the Saksham platform. Please, I would like all of you all to have your ears and eyes over to Ankita. This is very important for you all to understand the dashboard, its functionalities. And over to you, Ankita. Thank you very much once again, educators.
Thank you so much, Parvati, for sharing those key details of other engagements that we do as part of Val-Ed, because this is what creates a cohesive environment when we say not one way, but different ways to build that one vision that we want to. Please note that this is not any other regular value education program. It is something much more bigger as a change that you're bringing in, and like you're part of it, you are the change maker. So while we say that, you've understood what, why, how lesson plans looks like and everything. But you must be wondering the key point. How do I access all of this? Do you all have that question? How do I get access to all of this that we said? Whether it's assemblies, whether it's my class modules, whether it's events plan and everything. Where do I access all of this? For this, we have our own LMS system, which is nothing but learning management system, which where you will be part of it and you will access everything there. And the platform is called as sakshamglobal.in. Please note this is not any website, because websites are majorly a one-way traffic which gives you information, and as a reader you seek information. That's all. But a platform that you see now, or I'll be soon sharing with you, is a two-way traffic where we provide information from our end and you gather that and you provide information from your end as well. So it's not just seeking something, but you're also providing information to the team. And also remember, every report that the organization creates that's critical for any management, any principal, any school coordinator, or you teachers yourself is all driven from this system itself. So whatever inputs you put in here is not just any random information, but something that you have truly felt, something that you have truly experienced, something that you access and you have uploaded or updated. Okay, so let's take this segment a little serious on that front. While I will now share my screen and directly take you on the demo screen to help you understand what it looks like, how do I navigate through certain features, just need a quick heads up from everybody. Are you all with me? Are you all with me? Especially the ones who are off video, I really can't see you. So, perfect. Second, how many of you really have a tech fear? It's okay, you can be very open about it. I have been that someone long back, but now I'm little getting used to it. How many of you have a hesitation, I would say more than fear, towards using any tech or technology? How many of you? Any thumbs up? I don't see any though. I'm just looking if I have, okay, Reena ma'am says yes, ma'am. Okay, perfect. I see Kritika ma'am. Okay. First thing, leave all the preconceived notions. There is nothing to worry about. We use our phone. We never knew how to use Instagram first. We never knew how to use WhatsApp first. We all learned it through the process of as and when we started using it. Correct? Fair enough? Please take the system. It's not an app, of course, it needs an internet to open the browsing platform, but once you have hands on it, you're all sorted. So you don't have to worry. So I would only request leave all your preconceived notion behind and come with openness and just know the steps. And wherever you're stuck in during the course, you can always reach out to us as well. Okay? With on this note, let me share my screen with you first. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing all my screen, but then I think this should do once again. Can you see my screen, educators? Because I'm sharing, so you'll have to really give me a thumbs up or nod or say something so that I know you're there. Perfect. So the global platform link will be shared with you. Do not worry about it. It's called sakshamglobal.in. And the program team will let you know when your accounts are created. So we are helping the educators by creating your accounts on the platform. You don't have to create anything. Okay. Once you have been created, you will receive an automated email which will say that your login credentials are these with the details about it and the link in that particular email. So you can look for that. Along with that, our team will share the same with you. Once you have done that, you have received all of those details. The important part is just a second, if I can just hide this. Okay. Okay. So this is the page when you basically come here, right? And now what happens is here you will see you have already been registered by the team. So you will be part of this. Now the credentials given to you, you will put in here and you will log in. Simple, simple to everybody. Perfect. So now the next step is as soon as the default screen that you see when you log in is your timetable, or you also call it as schedule. Okay. This is your schedule for Saksham classes only. Here you will see the grades you're teaching, the timings at what time are you teaching that particular grade, which day of the week are you teaching that particular grade, which topic, which session in that topic, all of that is mentioned here. Okay. Now I will quickly take you through the each segment of it. Please note the key aspects that you see on your header are these: Saksham, Saksham Plus, program overview, and queries at first go. Saksham is nothing but your timetable itself, which is a default screen that opens up. I'll tell you what are other things that you have in each segment. Kindly keep making notes of the key things that you think you need to know. Okay. Now, as in when you're a part of on this particular screen that you see, the timetable screen, first is your metrics. It'll just tell you total number of sessions in this entire you will have to be doing across all the grades, as in total sessions I'm talking about. Each is a session, okay, not the topic. Then how many have you so far completed? How many are overdue and how many percentage of tracker is filled? So what is overdue sessions and tracker filled? I will tell you about that. Let me quickly tell you about this particular segment. I'm going to tell you about these four, actually there's five. These are ready-made thing that's available to you once a timetable is assigned to you from our team, the backend. What does the date basically stand for? Date is a planned date. So as per the timetable shared by the school that, okay, on this particular days, the classes will happen. The system will read and pop up those particular days. Okay, on 11th May is your class, 18th May is your class. So every class is once a week. So you will accordingly get your timetable. Time slot is again, when are the classes scheduled? Class is nothing but which classes at this particular date on this time is going to happen, and which topic. Module is nothing but the topic. whether it is empathy, whether it's introduction, whether it's recap, whether it's respect, whatever the topic name is, that will start popping up here. Okay. The next segment that you see is session. Teachers, do you remember yesterday we did mention usually every topic consists of how many sessions? Anybody? Can you please unmute and say, because I can't see anyone? So, yeah.
If I'm
Three
not wrong,
sessions,
it's
ma'am.
Can you come again? What was it?
four
We
or
have 3 sessions for one topic.
three.
Okay, you're right. So, correcting for those who had either two or three, please note, usually the topics will have 3 sessions. But if you remember the breakup that we were talking about, like introduction, recap, they might be one or two only. There can't be three. Only the topics like proper values topics or life skills topics will have three. Okay. Those are the session numbers that will start popping up here. And then the next that you see is a tracker. Tracker is a space where you fill in the reflections after your class, after every class, basically. How did the class go? There are certain questions on qualitative and quantitative aspect, which will take less than 30 seconds for you to fill. So you will fill there, you will upload your students' work and everything there and finish. So that also helps us in creating the report. So tracker is that space, okay? Conducted on date is nothing but the date when you have actually finished the class. Now, teachers, please note this date is something that you will have to fill after your classes are done. Now, this date can match your plan date, which is say this was organized on 11th May. You've conducted it on 11th May itself. So well and good. But sometimes what happens if a school suddenly announces let-offs, or there is some other event that has come in. So you might push today's class to tomorrow. Example, I'm just saying. So then the date will be 12th May. Example. So whenever you're conducting the class, please ensure you put the right date here. No other random dates or the same date, because once we cross check, our program coordinators are always in touch with you to see what is the status, how is the status and everything. Okay. So once you have updated your conducted on date, when you conducted the class, the status column automatically gets updated. You don't have to do anything. Now there are 3 statuses that the column shows. What are they? One is completed as planned, completed but delay, and overdue. Completed as planned means if you've completed the class on the same day of as organized, say 11th May, or any day 5 days after the 11th May, the same week basically. Okay. But if you have taken more than a week's time, where you have pushed 11th May's class to say 18th May, which is more than a week now, then when you put here as 18th, let me just show you that here. Wait. Do you see that? How it changed it to yellow? It means you have completed the class, but it just got delayed. So the team here in the backend can track, okay, if the classes are piled up, or there's a pending one, so they can check with you how we can accommodate before your last session class, because you will also have a last date to finish from your school's end. So for that discussion, this just helps. You don't have to worry anything about this yellow mark here. And the red mark that you see is nothing but if you have conducted the class, the date has passed, 11th May is gone, and you have not filled the date, the system will automatically understand it as the class didn't happen. That's why it'll say overdue. That's when we say if you have conducted, kindly fill it. If you don't fill it, it'll study as overdue. Up until 1 week, it'll allow you. After that, it'll start showing you overdue. So note that you do not miss this. Every single day after your class, before 6 p.m., you fill this conducted on day. Know the timeline, know what to do right after your classes. Okay. Now, next question you might have. Ma'am, I understood where to fill my conductor. Where do I firstly access my content even before getting into the class? For that, you will see when I hover my mouse on the session number, it allows me to click it. So when I click on it, it leads me to this particular page where you can see there is 2 tabs on top, content and tracker. So the first thing you see is content, and of course you can view it at full screen, and then you can see the whole content here in this box itself. Prepare. While preparing, there's high possibility you might have doubts. You would want to raise a question, right? Or you would want to check. There is right at the bottom of the content, there is a query box. You can write your subject of the query. Please select which part of the content you might have doubts in and write your description. And once you submit, it'll show you like this. What query have you raised? Okay. But you might be wondering that you raised a query in middle, say later in the evening, around say 8 o'clock when you were preparing in your house. You've raised it. Now our team might see it in the next day. And when they reply, how will I know if they've replied? That's when you get something like this as a notification. Once you come back to the platform, you will see there is a notification, which means someone has replied to your query. And when you click on that, it will take you to the particular content of that query and you can open it. It's just like a chat window. You will see this. I'm just going to close this one. Just a second. Yeah. So that I can show it to you. Yeah. It's just like a chat window. And if you have more doubts, then you can also reply and send it to them. The chat is currently open here. The access to close any chat is with the Val-Ed team. If they believe after 2 days, if there is no reply from the teacher for what message we have sent, we will close the chat. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay? So this is it. Now you might wonder, where do I see all the chats? All the queries that I might have raised at different points for different content. You have something called as queries. Now, like notification is gone. Which one did I raise? I don't recall. There is a queries tab here right on the top. When you come, all the queries will be listed here. Right now, there's only one I have raised. For say 5 or 6 queries you've raised, everything will be here. So queries is your first point of contact to raise your query. After that, if you've not got an answer, is when you reach out to the program team or on the group you message that I need help with this. So please ensure that you take help of this particular segment in your platform. Clear so far with me? I can't see anyone. Can I just see quick thumbs up or a voice? Yes. Okay, I see quick thumbs up at least. Teachers, are you all with me? Okay, I see few of them. Perfect. So I'm assuming everybody is with me who are on off video as well. Now you know how to access content. If you have any doubt in the content, where to raise the query, where to see the list of queries and everything. Now next part is, I finished my class. And what is the first step you do? You have to fill the conductor date. You know where to fill it. Now I want to fill the tracker. Tracker is the space I told you. It's a reflection space from the class. How did the class go? Was the content insightful? Is there any support you need? How would you rate students' participation? A lot of things. But firstly, where do I access tracker? So please note 2 important things. First important thing is, every tracker is connected with the last session of that module. For example, introduction is always only one. There are no multiple sessions under it. Okay. So then you will find it right against it. For example, let's say this is bridge course. Using words, not hands is a topic. In session 1, you will see there are hyphen. You can't access the tracker here, right? But you will see in session 2, you can, which means session 2 is I'm just giving you a sample there. So the last session of that topic is where you will be able to access the tracker and not before that. If it is a topic called empathy, please look after you finish empathy topic 3, the session 3 is when you will fill the tracker, not in session 1 and session 2. You have to record your learnings in any notebook, but in session 3 is when you have to fill in once in all the tracker. That you have understood. Now, where exactly will you fill the tracker? For example, introduction is session 1. I'm just going here. Next to the content tab itself, there is a tracker. Click on that. You will be led to a tracker page. There are quantitative reflection questions that will help you. 5 is extremely well and of course 1 is not well. Please read the questions well. Whatever ratings you give here, we also record that in our reports so that it is used as a transparency, and whatever you fill it here is also available to your management, because they also maintain the transparency to see how the classes are going. If something is not going well, they are open to questioning us as well. Okay, my teachers have told that they are finding it difficult here. How have you helped? So this becomes a place for us to have a better conversation, productive conversation, right? And then there is a next segment called as qualitative reflection, which is open, not a mandatory one, but an important one. Especially the first question where you're sharing about character moments. You would have heard of character moments, right? Which means where you're able to pick any profound learnings in your class, or you have observed some changes that is taking place amongst children or in the behavioral pattern. You would want to highlight that here without fail, because that will become the highlight of your entire Saksham educator journey, because you have been able to bring in a change. So ensure that no matter what, every class you are able to update at least this first question for sure, right? Because this is a character moment question. The next two are nothing but a support questions. If you think you need a support, you can always put down. And the last part in this tracker that you see is session media, in which you can upload your students' work. For every topic, you can upload up until 7 pictures. Okay, only 7 pictures, but the quality ones that you would want to showcase. So please ensure that you type in, and description is not mandatory, just the title. Choose the file, select the file, and just upload it. JPEG and PNG should work here. So far with me, what does the tracker look like and everything? Teachers, can you unmute yourself and say yes, no, maybe,
Yes.
kind of?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect,
Ankita,
perfect.
Ankita ma'am,
Yes,
if
who's
it is a
that?
photos, we can upload about 7. But if it is a video, how much we
Even
need
you
to
can
use?
upload videos. You can upload videos.
Okay,
When I say media, it's also, by the way, thank you so much for pointing. It's photos and videos, but up until 7 only.
okay, ma'am. Because we have
Okay?
faced a problem like last year. That's the thing I have
Acha.
just asked.
But
Okay,
please note that your file is not corrupted, because last time one of the school did upload a corrupted file, one corrupted file, which led us
okay,
to not download any media file backend. So we had to
okay,
correct that
ma'am.
and get it removed. So ensure it's a normal, not a corrupted file while you're uploading. Okay?
Okay,
Perfect. So when you have done that, now I told you 2 points, right? Critical to tracker. For those who have experienced it, please note this is even more important because you have already experienced. One, I told you that tracker is connected to the last session of every topic. You will find tracker only there, not in session 1 or 2, but third session if it is the last session. And if one session introduction has, then you will find it in session 1. Now, point two, which I wanted to mention critically, was 1 minute. I'm just going to go to home screen again. I know a lot of times teachers have told that I'm actually going to stop sharing the screen. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to come on this. Teachers might be taking more than 9 classes of the same section. Some schools might have pretty huge group of sections for the same grades. And one particular teacher is taking easy 15 sections, say 9 of one class and 5 of other class. Example, I'm saying. Okay. Filling trackers for every section, for every topic gets very tricky. So we have made it easy. How is basically, for example, Neha ma'am is taking a class, say grade 3. Just say grade 3, A section, B section, C, D, E. 5 total sections. And the first, say she's about to take empathy as a next topic. I'm just taking that. Now, the empathy session 3, she took it in class, say 3A or 3B. As per the timetable, a lot of times B section is first, A is later, whatever it is. The timetable is being given to you, right? So, whichever class, whichever section I would say of the class undergoes first the last topic, the last session of that topic, right? And you fill in the tracker for them, it will auto populate for your other session classes also, which means if she has taken class C 3C topic empathy 3, she's finished it, she's filled the tracker for 3C empathy topic. Okay, whatever she has filled it in that, it will auto populate in A, B, C, so definitely she filled D and E as well. It solves your problem to not refill it in every class. Fair enough. But now what happens is tomorrow is your class D. You have gone to class D and you realize for class D particularly you wanted to change something. You wanted to add something only for class D. Can you do that? Yes, you can do that. So once a auto population has happened of a tracker, you can go and edit any particular tracker of any particular section of the class. And that will not auto populate. It will only auto populate once. Remember, I know it looks little technical. Once you start doing, you will get a hang of it. Okay. Just know that you do not have to fill a tracker for different sections of the same grade every time you have taken the class. If you fill it for one section, it will auto populate for other sections that you are taking. If F, G, H is being taken by Kritika ma'am of the same class, if you fill any one section of that class, it will auto populate for you. It's your data. And you can individually also do once auto population is done and edits can be made. You don't have to worry. So far with me? So far with me? Following? Perfect. So we've tried making your life easy that you just fill tracker once for one class. It'll auto populate. That's all. You don't have to worry. Chikeji? So that is the critical part. Then the other things are very small ones. I'll quickly take you through, which is nothing but okay, the last bit that we are part of, okay? Now you know the status is connected with conducted on date. As soon as you fill the tracker, this will get updated on its own. That's filled. If you anytime feel that it is not showing filled, it still shows not filled, please just refresh your page. Just ensure that once you have filled, there is a statement called as your changes are saved or your edits are saved. A green button highlight will come. Once that has come, just refresh your page, it will start showing up. So don't worry that, okay, where did my data go? Clear? Now comes the segment of Saksham Plus, in which we have Teachers Hub, which has articles you can read at your convenience. Assembly plans. You'll be able to access your assemblies content here. Again, orange highlight is basically where you can access your content. Okay? And for those who are taking that particular class of assembly, will only be able to see that assembly. Not that you will be able to see all the assemblies, just the ones. Example, you take 3, 4, 5, or you take only 3, then you will be able to see the assembly plan for that age group, not for the 6, 7, 8. So that is assembly. Then we have events. Because you're not the facilitator, you can't see the content, but you can see what are the different events taking place in your school from Saksham or Val-Ed. You'll get the timetable access here. So that is the view here that you get access to. The program overview, you have 4 options again. School profiling form is nothing but the survey we conducted with your management. Whatever inputs, timelines, details they have given, we will just embed that sheet and you will be able to see. Saksham curriculum is nothing but across whichever grades the Saksham is happening in your school, you will be able to see that completely here. What are the topics, how many sessions under each topic and all of that. For example, tomorrow Deborah ma'am is not there. She's on leave. She would request one of her teacher to take her class. So you would wonder, how do I give access to the teacher to access my content? Because you can't download, you can't print, you can't take screenshot because of privacy thing, right? You can just let them know the topic, the class, and which session. They can come to this curriculum screen, which is under program overview, Saksham curriculum. Here they'll just come, click on that session. They can prepare the content very well from here itself if they click on it. Fair enough? And they can deliver. Only for the tracker, they'll have to give you input that, okay, how did the class really go? And the other 2 is nothing but again just a calendar to help you know what all are the assemblies throughout the year that we are conducting is here in the school. This is like a school overview for you. and events that we are conducting. Fair enough, understood, easy, nothing to do. This is an information segment. Last, I've already spoken to you about queries. Notification, I've already told you whenever you get a reply to your queries. Last is your profile. Under this, you can always see the changes that you need and you want to make, the grades you will be teaching, the email that you have access to. If you want to change your password, you can do here. But if you want to change your email, you will have to let us know. You can't do the changes for the email because that's like the source of information. Let our team know and they'll help you out with this, not to worry. So this is all the that you can access on the platform. And I would in fact invite all the educators who are here right now, right? If you, any one of you also love writing any topic that you deal as a teacher, please feel free to share articles. We will be happy to publish it in the Teachers Hub segment. Okay. So if anybody is interested, please get in touch with program team and I'll personally be happy to interact with you on that. So that's on the article front if you're interested in writing. But this is what the platform is for you. So far with me, I'm pretty much done. We will be giving you access to a FAQ sheet which has a video run through of whatever I spoke. There is steps also written. If you don't want to watch a video, it'll be a guide for the same. So do see that wherever you get stuck, still if you are not able to solve, the team is here. Perfect. Are you all with me for the last 5 minutes? I'll not be extending more than that. That's all. Yeah. Are you all with me, teachers? Perfect. Hoping all the off videos, teachers as well. Thank you so much for being so patient and really being involved in what we were sharing. Now we are almost at the end. But because we are at the end, it is very critical for us to know how you have felt. At the same time, it's very important that we appreciate your presence and your energy, your participation throughout the 2 days that we've had you here. So, for this, I would like to invite our very youngest and a new joinee, who is going to be the face of Val-Ed with a lot of schools and the teachers, a support partner, a backbone, I would say, for you throughout the year, right? He is Sharath, who himself has seen the ground level understanding of students' learning by being a teacher in the past. And today he's here to be the support to all the teachers once he was. So I would like to invite Sharath to definitely share the feedback form and deliver a vote of thanks. Over to you, Sharath.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you for the warm welcome. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So, educators, before we start the vote of thanks, let's capture this beautiful moment together. I request everyone to please turn your cameras on for a lovely group picture. Don't worry, this is only for memories, not for evaluation. Okay. Please wear your brightest smile and look towards the camera warmly. Let's take this picture and one to cherish with all your happy faces and positive energy. Also, please stay for a few seconds until Andrew confirms that we got a good picture taken. Okay, are we ready?
I like
Yes,
this.
Preeti ma'am,
Exactly.
Reena ma'am, Kamila ma'am,
Yeah,
Kumari ma'am, please switch on your videos. Let's
I'm
have
loving
all
that
of
they're
us
coming
together.
on videos now.
Yes. I think the strategy we should have used in the beginning.
Definitely.
Sahana ma'am, Raji ma'am.
I would request even Valid team to kindly come on video. It's too plain to suddenly have blank screens from you. Elizabeth ma'am, I'm struggling to pronounce the name Manshian Chin. Ma'am, can you come on video? Mridula,
Ma'am,
Sahana, Raji, Kamila ma'am, everybody, please on video. We are waiting for you. Okay, okay. Lovely. Okay, I think we are good. Probably we can, yeah.
yeah.
Andrew, you're on mute, I guess, if you're giving us the instruction. We can also do some cute emojis, whatever you like.
First, we'll take a good picture. Then
Yeah.
I think you can give some pose, hand gestures like that.
Done.
Okay. Then 1 minute. Just joining now. Guys, yeah. Okay, all of you look at the screen. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, got a good one. So now, yeah, you guys can give a pose or hand
Okay,
gestures.
we have Elizabeth ma'am also on the screen. Lovely. Ma'am, any pose with small, cute little emojis you want to use? Oh, I see Tharuni ma'am with V. V for values. I stand by it. Perfect. Andrew, let us know when it's done. Oh, perfect. I saw him giving thumbs up. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay,
Kindly stay on the screen. Do not go off video now.
please.
Just
Yeah.
last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Perfect. Sharath, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you. As we come to the end of these 2 wonderful days of the Saksham Educator training, I would like to take a moment to express a heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this journey so meaningful, engaging, and inspiring. So, first and foremost, a huge thank you to all our educators, our Saksham educators, and participants. So, even with your busy schedules, you joined us with such enthusiasm, energy, and openness to learning. Your active participation, thoughtful interactions, and positive spirit truly brought these sessions to life. The success of this training lies in your involvement, and we deeply appreciate the time and commitment each one of you has shown. A special thanks to Ms. Mrudula for beautifully introducing these sessions and helping us understand what is valid infrastructure, the pillars of Saksham, and what truly equips a successful Saksham educator. Your way of presenting the concepts in such a lively, simple, and relatable manner made every session engaging and easy to connect with. Our sincere gratitude to Mr. Mayank sir for the enriching sessions on ERRT, methodology, frameworks, lesson plans, and journals. Your insights, practical guidance, and clarity gave us a strong understanding of the Saksham approach and inspired us to think deeper about impactful teaching practices. A heartfelt thank you to Ms. Sahana for taking us through the Saksham toolkit so effectively. Your explanation helped everyone clearly understand the resources and how they can be meaningfully used in classrooms. A special appreciation to Ms. Ankita, our wonderful host, who kept the entire event lively, energetic, and smoothly coordinated throughout. Along with hosting so beautifully, thank you for clearly explaining the platform and ensuring everyone felt comfortable and connected during the sessions. Thank you to Ms. Rajashri for the engaging recap session using Mentimeter. The interactive reflections and recaps added such a fun and collaborative element to the training experience. A warm thank you to Ms. Parvati for explaining the importance of assemblies, rituals, and events and sharing thoughtful ideas that help create a vibrant and value driven school culture. We would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to Mr. Andrew for all the backend support, including managing the Zoom setup, YouTube live sessions for both days. Your constant coordination behind the scenes ensured everything ran smoothly and seamlessly. And finally, our deepest gratitude to Ms. Tripti ma'am, the head of the learning team, for joining us all the way from the USA and continuously coordinating, guiding, and supporting the team throughout this event. Before we conclude, we are also happy to share that certificates for the Saksham Educator training will be shared in the mail with the all participants very soon. Once again, thank you everyone for making these 2 days so enriching, collaborative, and memorable. We hope the learnings, ideas, and connections from this training continue to inspire all of us in creating meaningful learning experiences for our children. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to learning together again soon. Over to you, Ankita.
Sharat,
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
the
Sharat.
feedback
If you
form
can
will be
share
done
the
by.
feedback. Oh, sorry, someone was talking.
yeah.
No, I was thinking Sharat was doing. Yes, Angita, you can take.
Acha, sorry. So, teachers, one last thing, a last expectation before you move out of the room. We'll take only few seconds. So, we will be sharing a link right now here. Request you to kindly finish the feedback form and then leave the meeting. I know it's a little stretch, but then you'll be done, and because it's fresh on your mind as well. So, can I have the feedback link here in the chat window, please?
And dear educators, as you fill in, your names will appear with our list. So kindly we will get to know who has filled in. So we don't want to point out that you have not filled in. So kindly fill in the feedback form, please.
Yeah. Just a second, we'll be adding the link in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until then, anyone wants to share anything, any feeling? How are you feeling, or how is the Josh before moving to the class?
A little nervous, but very insightful sessions, very helpful. A lovely start to my new journey, I can say. It's
How
been very helpful, really nice of all of you all to guide us this way. It was like we felt like spoon fed, to be very honest. Very nice, and the way you've guided us further as well for the next academic year, that's really really helpful, and it's extremely nice of you all. Very kind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kritika ma'am. You have made all our day. At least that shows that okay, we were somewhere in the direction. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, it was amazing. I have had a very, very insightful session. Extremely, I can take a lot of learnings from this.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for sharing your words.
Thank you.
Anyone else who would want to share? I know,
Just a
Lauren, you
quick
have it here.
question.
Yes, Deborah ma'am, please.
Since this is the first time for our school to join the value in education, just one quick question. How do we conduct assessment like exams and all?
Okay,
Because
okay.
this is part of like one subject, kept as one subject. So
Fair
how do
enough.
we conduct?
So we do have a process, ma'am, for that. So about the assessment survey, I think Parvati and Mridula will be the right people to get in touch
Yes.
with you separately, because one important thing that we have is students taking a self-assessment of understand, and this is not like grading any child. It is more to do with how their behavioral aspect is in a particular situation, which helps us map how their value is being, right? How do you basically respond to certain situation? So that is the self-assessment I'm talking about. Apart from that, if there is a concept of values apps, if that is the segment that's part with the Soikulal, Parvati will be talking about it to you soon. Would that be okay?
Deborah ma'am, we shall connect with you regarding.
Thank you,
Perfect.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So we have the form link here, requesting you to kindly quickly head to that and fill in.
Sharat, would you want to share in the WhatsApp group too? So that
Yes,
those are not
yes.
able
Yeah.
to.
Yes, I'll do that.
I hope everyone is able to access the feedback form.
The link has been shared in the WhatsApp group also. please check your WhatsApp groups.
Thank you, Ms. Neha. Thank you, Ms. Kritika. And thank you, Ms. Taruni ma'am. We've received your responses. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in classrooms. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye
Have a
bye. Same
great,
here.
great,
Thank
great
you.
journey ahead. Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you all. Thank you.
Same here.
Bye.
Likewise, likewise. Bye-bye.
Bye.